So today was one of those days that I started off the day not great, basically. It started off because I got a phone call that woke me up, and it was an issue with one of the installs, and then that threw the day out. And then I started looking at trying to solve that problem and looking at my emails and getting caught up the group chats, and 2.5 hours later I hadn't even started my day, but I had wasted all this time doing very low value things. So the first thing that I'm going to do, which I've been thinking about doing, and I've been trying to do, but I think I need to introduce more measures to do, is to eliminate my phone usage in the morning, because I believe I've been listening to Tim Ferriss talk in 4-Hour Work Week and just other areas of his books and other people recommending. I believe that it is it's consuming my time and energy in the morning and delaying, it's like procrastinating for when I actually start working on high value work. What is it? It's there's a saying, if you have to eat a frog, if you have to eat a frog today, the best time to do it is the first thing in the morning. And if you have to eat 2 frogs, you're better off eating the larger one first. So it's like biting off the biggest thing to get that, and I think by checking phone and social media and anything else it's just procrastinating the rest of the day. And then I because I'm trying to save the day, I try and do other little value things, to tick off, I've done this, all of these things, to feel like I've done things. But the big stuff that actually moves the needle point hasn't been done. And I noticed myself starting to think, how can I make this easier? I start to get sort of, maybe I can make a course, and then my course will make me money, and then I can use the money to do other things. I'm trying to think of sort of ways. I'm thinking and thinking and thinking instead of doing. That's the main thing. And so I'm going to leave my phone outside of my room. I'm going to let it charge in a different room. And I'm going to have a different alarm clock or something like that, a time device. I've got an old phone. I'm probably just going to set that up, because I do like being able to use Siri to set alarms and stuff. So I'll probably set that up, but have it only, I'll be connected to the internet, but not connected to any applications or phone calls or Sims, just so that I can use Siri to create tasks and reminders maybe, and to create alarms and stuff. Because today wasn't a good example, but I know I'm doing it in general. So anyway, after that shitty start to my day, I was kind of feeling a bit sort of beat up. I felt sick. I was like, maybe I just will do some of this low priority stuff because I need to get it done. But then I just stopped, felt flustered. So I stopped, not just flustered. I felt frustrated and flustered and fucking shit, this is a waste of a day. So I just stopped and laid on my bed for 10 minutes. Not even 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and just calm the fuck down and reset and just relaxed and took breaths. And then some messages came through, and I fucking got up, checked the messages, and got back up. I'm doing it again. And it took me a little while, but I just laid on that bed maybe for another 10 minutes and just thought about the whole, prioritizing and doing the highest value things. And I thought about, what do I really need to do? And right now, what I really need to do is I need to call leads. I need to make my leads and call them. I need to get more work coming through, because I'm trying to think of all these other ways, even looking at getting an Amex and then putting things on the Amex, and that's a silly sort of risky move to do. I just need to do the work. And I did in the end. I can't remember exactly. I actually didn't do the hardest thing, but it was one of the biggest things. I called the person that I knew would be easiest to talk to first, and he didn't answer. And then once I'd done that, I was like, okay, time to call other people. And so I actually started calling some finance providers and talking to them about what I'm doing now. And it actually worked out really good timing, because one of them is about to start calling all of their old customers that aren't putting through lots of volume, and just be like, hey, what's, how's everything going? What's, like a follow-up call to see where things are at. And so my services of working with solar businesses to help improve sales will help these businesses. And I've been coming more in from that angle rather than the 10% kickback. I think actually people sort of feel weird about the 10% kickback. So I think I'll do it just as like a surprise bonus, but I'll talk more about the idea that I'm going to drive more business through their doors. And his finance guy's concern was like, obviously you want to make sure that, they're staying with us for the finance. I said, as I said, not even akin to shooting myself in the foot. It would be like shooting myself in the head, because they would destroy any future leads that I'd be able to get from you. So 100%, like same thing. If I'm working with a stock supplier, I'm not going to take that company and tell them to buy stock from somewhere else, so that is like definitely in place, and that's just a man of my word type thing. And I am, because it will be like, if they find out that they start going somewhere else for finance, they'll never get another lead from them. Oh yeah, maybe I won that one customer, and it's stupid though. So just to destroy a relationship like that. So yeah, I really like that I've got that in place and that I thought about that, because it's true. So anyway, I have called Shane, who I used to own Sungain with, and just asked him for permission basically to approach a few of the other suppliers, and we were talking and it was good. He and I were talking, and he was suggesting to maybe narrow my message down more towards solar sales rather than solar sales and lead gen and CRMs and all this shit, just to try and narrow it down more to just like sales and everything that entails. That rhymes. So I have, and it is easier and clearer to do. It is clearer for me to speak about, and then I can talk about some of the other things, but it's for the purpose of improving, profitability, essentially improving sales, improving profitability. I had a phone call. So after that, I called a couple people, and then I'm actually now starting to call companies directly, which is great. I think I need to be doing that more, and I need to be doing more of it. And I approached one of the companies he knows that is an electrical subcontract company, but also sells solar themselves. And I spoke to this guy, and it was a great phone call. He runs a business himself. They've got 4 installers. They do about 10 to 15 jobs per week. Basically, out of that call, like we spoke, I introduced myself, what I've done, how I do it, that it's a rev share model. On that note, I'll circle back to that we don't get paid unless it's from the new sales, so nothing up front. And it's all based on the sales we bring in. And we started chatting about what he's currently doing for leads and where he's getting and where his issues are. I didn't say that, but we were speaking. I was trying to find it out. And he's got 1 salesperson on full time and 2 on commission only. And his biggest problems are the solar market is competitive as hell, and lead consistency. And that was great, because lead diversity helps lead consistency, and the solar panel is competitive. That's a sales process thing. And I was able to talk about those things and say the sales process that I train people on is designed to move away from those type of customers, because those type of customers are generally the biggest pain in the ass, the least margins, they complain the most, they expect the most, they pay the least. It's the worst of everything. So we want to try and approach the customers that are higher paying, want you to do the work, and they're just going to trust you to do it, and smoother business. You don't need to install as many to make more money. And he was keen to catch up. He is busy in the next couple of weeks. I tried to push a little bit more to get something in the next couple of days, but he said he's busy in the next couple of weeks. So I've sent him an email, and after sending the email, I had a look through his website, and I looked at some of the pricing that they're advertising on their website. It's fucking terrible, low, so low. So our sales systems pricing is, on the base price, is $1,500 more, and then like the next one, it's up like, we'd probably sell a system for about $3,000 more, and then it's like, $5,000 more on some of these systems that they're selling. So it's going to be really easy for me to come in and help them improve that sales process and just get the belief that they can sell at a larger price point. And they're looking at their end margins, but the thing is they get to keep all the benefit of having internal installs, not realizing that most companies don't have that benefit. So you can charge more. And actually, because you have that benefit, you can charge more. So you can actually charge more than people that are subcontracting. So yeah, it's I think the areas is going to be lead volumes, lead consistency, and then how to sell at a higher price point, which is all the things I do. And then the CRM stuff is probably just going to be secondary. So, yeah, very cool conversation. I'm glad I turned the day around. I wanted to make a podcast in the middle of that, but I couldn't be fucked doing that. I think that's why we don't make things when we're feeling down, is because it's just, yeah. But I just wanted to share what I went through when I was feeling down and what I was paying attention to was causing it, and what I did to sort of bring myself slowly out of it. And it works. I was just prioritizing. Just the moment I did that first phone call of like, it's a higher value list, but I chose like an easier of a higher value. So I didn't eat the biggest frog, but I did eat one of my frogs, and then I was able to eat the larger frog. So that worked for me today. Anyway, until next time.